At the start of Football Manager 2024, you will find Warren Zaire Emery as part of PSG's first team. The 17-year-old has no French international experience yet, but he's valued at £23 to £68 million by PSG and has a contract worth £98,000 per week that runs until 2025. Looking at the player, he is a defensive midfielder who can double up as an orthodox midfielder, and looking at his attributes, you can see he's pretty much a first team starter for most teams. Looking at the physical side of his game, he has standouts with agility, natural fitness. He scores 13 for acceleration, balance, pace, stamina and strength. In the mentals, he has standout of determination, but also scores highly for teamwork, work rate. He has good anticipation, bravery, decisions. In the technical side of his game, he has good first touch, scoring 15, passing of 14 and technique of 14 too. In real life, he is a player with a growing reputation, having broke his way into PSG's first team and has become one of their first team players on a regular basis. The big question here is, what does FM24 think will happen in the next 15 years of his career? We're going to jump forwards 5 years to see what happens in that initial period and see how he develops as a footballer. We have now jumped forwards. It is 2028, and we can see that a 22-year-old Warren Zaire Emery now plays for Udinese in Italy. He's 22 years old, has 10 international caps for France. He's valued between £32 and £96 million at Udinese. He earns £71,000 per week and is a star player with a contract that runs until 2032. Looking at the player, he has really come on leaps and bounds in terms of his development. Those physicals are now really well rounded. In the mentals, anticipation, composure, determination, positioning and vision, all scoring 16 or above. And in the technicals, 17 for first touch, 16 for technique, tackling, passing and dribbling all score highly too. Let's have a look then at how his career has panned out and how he has ended up at Udinese. So he stayed at PSG until the 25-26 season, where he was put back into the second team and actually played more second team games in the last 3 seasons than he did first team, and then he was allowed to move to the Premier League to join Wolverhampton Wanderers for £13.25 million. He would play 11 games in the Premier League before they were relegated, and then he would only play 1 game in the Championship before he would be allowed to move on to Udinese for £29.5 million. Since being in Serie A, he has been pretty much ever-present in the first team, playing 35 games and 36 games, and he's now starting to build himself as an influential player in Italy. So he's building nicely as a player. He's certainly gaining more first team experience now. He has played both in the Premier League, Serie A, and has played in Ligue 1, albeit a very short stint in PSG's first team. Let's see what happens. We jump 5 years further forward to 2033 and see if he can develop any more as a footballer. So we have now jumped forwards to 2033 and we find a 27-year-old Warren Zaire Emery is playing for Manchester United in the Premier League. At the age of 27, he has now represented France 54 times, scoring 2 goals. Manchester United value the player at £82 to £247 million and have given him a contract worth £300,000 a week that runs to the end of the 2037 season. Looking at the player, he doesn't really seem to have developed much more than what he did 5 years previous. There is still a few attributes that are ticking over and he's still developing in certain areas. Mentals is the big one that you can look at and think, okay, the development really is there, with anticipation, composure, decisions, determination, positioning and vision all standing out. He also has 17 for first touch, 16 for passing, 16 for technique. In terms of the player traits, plays 1-2s, looks for a pass rather than attempting to score, tries long range passes and likes to switch the ball to the wider areas. Looking at his playing time to see how he has got to this point then. So after playing at Udinese until the 28-29 season, he left to join Manchester United for £87 million and has been a first team regular ever since. The only thing that seems to have held him back a little bit is his average ratings. They have started to dip back below the 7, but he is averaging around a 7 mark. So in the 28-29 season, he would play 33 times, scoring twice and assisting 5. In the 29-30 campaign, 27 games. In the 30-31 campaign, 33 games with 3 goals and 5 assists. Then 31-32 would only play 21 games, but the 32-33 campaign was the first time he would play in every single Premier League game. 38 games, no goals, but 6 assists and 1 Player of the Match award. So he's building towards the end of his career. By the time we come back in 5 years' time, he will be 32, and that means that the development that is there will either have peaked because he's coming to the age of a footballer that really starts to hit top stride, or he might drag a little bit more development out of him. The other big question is, will he still be at Manchester United, or will he trade them for another team? Let's jump forwards and find out. So we have now jumped forwards, it's 2038, and we find a 32-year-old Warren Zaire Emery has swapped the Premier League for the Middle East. He has joined Al Hilal. He has played 109 times for France, scoring 6 goals, and Al Hilal insist he is not for sale. He is on a contract that is worth £1.6 million per week, and that runs until the end of the 2040 season. Looking at the player, he is by far one of the best midfielders in the game at this point. The physicals, with the agility, balance, natural fitness, pace, stamina, acceleration, everything is going for him in terms of his physical game, in the mentals, anticipation, composure, decisions, determination, off the ball, positioning and vision, all scoring 16 or above. And then in the technicals, first touch of 17, passing of 17, technique of 17. He's now a media description legendary midfielder. So let's see how he has got to this point in his career then. So after signing for Manchester United, he would stay there until the 36-37 season. He was playing regular first team football in the Premier League, and once his contract expired, he decided to take the move out to Saudi Arabia to play for Al Hilal. Once he's there, in the 37-38 season, he played 34 times, scoring twice, having 9 assists and a 7.81 average rating, by far the best of his career. So at this point of his career, coming towards the end, he has now played in 523 games, scoring 23 goals, having 86 assists, 20 Player of the Match awards, and has a 7.09 average rating. If we go to the milestones to see what he has achieved, in terms of competitions that he has won, going back to PSG. So in the first season, he was a Ligue 1 Uber Eats winner, Trophée des Champions winner. He won the Coupe de France and another Ligue 1 Uber Eats. He was a Coupe de France winner in 25, Champions League winner in 25, FIFA Club World Cup 3rd place. In 26, he got relegated from the Premier League with Wolverhampton Wanderers. France first international cap came at the age of 21 against Portugal. He was a UEFA European Championship winner, Europa League winner with Manchester United, Nations League runner-up with France, European South American Club Challenge winner and Super Cup winner with Manchester United. Before, in 2030, FIFA World Cup winner with France, first international goal against Nigeria at the age of 24, Champions League runner-up and Carabao Cup runner-up with Manchester United. Then in 31, Nations League runner-up, 32, European Championship winner again, FA Cup runner-up. Then in 2033 with Manchester United, Super Cup winner, European South American Club Challenge winners, Nations League runner-up, Europa League winner with Manchester United. Before going on into 34, World Cup runner-up, Europa League runner-up, FA Cup winner, Nations League winner and Community Shield winner. Then in 37, Nations League 3rd place with France, and an AFC, a Champions League winner with Al Hilal. If we go to the awards to check out what he has got for himself on a personal level, so nothing really before he joined Udinese, which is quite a bit of a strange one, but he was inducted into their overall best 11s, Serie A Team of the Week. Then he moved to Manchester United and pretty much the same thing, seasonal best 11 and teams of the week, Premier Division Team of the Week, named in France's best seasonal 11. He was French player of the Year runner-up in 2035 whilst at Manchester United, named in Manchester United's Best Supporters 11. He was named in France's seasonal best 11 all the way up until 2038. So in terms of real awards, he just had that one standout of his own where he finished third as French Player of the Year. So all in all, he has had a fantastic career. Some of the moves have been a little bit wacky. To leave PSG to go to Wolves is a bit of a big one, and then on to Udinese and then to Manchester United. A career total of £132 million spent on him as a player. But what you get for that money is a player that really reaches the peak of his game, reaches the peak of his powers, and he turns into, as the media say right there, a legendary midfielder. Right then, if you're still with me at this point of the video, firstly, a big thank you. Second, if you could hit the like button and subscribe to the channel, I really would appreciate it. Cannot thank you all enough for coming and interacting with the channel, watching it grow, and hitting that 3,000 subscriber mark has been fantastic. I cannot thank you all enough. But for this one, I'm going to leave it there. Come back soon. Check out another video. For this one, I'll leave it there. See you soon on another video.